World Healing Tour movement with your host, Noah Crane. Heal yourself, heal the world. Hello, and welcome to the World Healing Tour podcast, where our mission is to help you heal yourself so you can heal the world. Hi, my name is Noah Crane. Each week, we bring you tips and tools and inspire you to live your most empowered and joyful life. I'm also the author of the book, The Grass is Greenest Where I Am, because the grass is greenest where you are when you say so. When you choose to live in a place of no comparison, no competition, and no scarcity. When you choose to live in your own love and light and share your unique gifts with the world, because we're all unique. And that's why it's called World Healing Tour, because when you heal yourself, you truly create that ripple effect for others to heal as well. Each week, we bring incredible people into studio to share their journey with you and help you on your path. I'm really super excited about my guest today because he's incredible and doing incredible things in the world. Sandy Pukel is the founder and president of Holistic Holiday at Sea. He has been deeply involved in natural food industry for over 5 decades and has established an international reputation as a leader in the field. Together with the world macrobiotic leader, Misho Kushi, Sandy established a network of learning centers throughout Florida to teach natural food cooking and holistic health. In 2024, he was awarded the Misho Kushi Peace Award. He also has a cookbook called Grains and Greens on the Deep Blue Sea. His holistic cruises include science-based educational classes, programs, yoga, Pilates, meditation, cooking classes, and a whole community. I'm so excited to have him here today with us and to learn more about his incredible cruises. Sandy, welcome to the World Healing Tour podcast.
Thank you very much for having me. And it's what your mission is you can't top that. So I'm just happy to be part of that. And thank you very much for letting me be part of your life to spread the good word.
Yeah, I feel like our connection is so needed and so organic because both of us always say how it's the win-win. It's all about the win-win, right? We're here to elevate each other. And the more you do for others, the more you also elevate yourself because energy doesn't lie, right? And so I love that we both think exactly the same way.
Yeah, it's true. We want to have everybody be healthy and happy. And the more people are healthy and happy in the world, the better place it is for everybody to live.
Right, and we get to leave a legacy behind for future generations. A lot of what I do is wanting to leave that legacy for future generations, leave this planet better than we found it.
Yeah, of course. When I first got into this, my parents said to me, this is great, but what happens when you have kids? And I said to my mother, it's because I want to have kids and I want my children to grow up in a better world. And therefore, I guess this has been my mission and my lot in life, so to speak, to turn as many people on to living healthy and happy.
I love that so much. You know, they say, if you love what you do, you never feel like you worked a day in your life. Do you feel that way?
I love what I do. I tell everybody, I love what I do. Hopefully I help a lot of people, and I even make a living out of it. So it's a win-win-win situation for everybody.
Yeah, how did you become passionate about holistic health? Because you've become passionate about it way before it was even popular, right? I mean, today there's so much more information on it with the internet, with people, wanting to learn more how to heal their body naturally and heal their life naturally. But you were way ahead of the game.
Well, the first time I went to a lecture, it resonated with me, and I went, modestly speaking, I was a young guy there, probably indulged in a little bit of marijuana, and as the last time I smoked was that day. I went to a lecture and I heard the woman, it resonated with me. I said, this is it. This is my life, what I'm going to do now. I started changing my life and I've connected with other people, and I was fortunate to meet up with some world leaders at that time. And I went and traveled all over the world, and I became a better person because of it. And I decided all my businesses have been related to that. I'm very lucky that everything I've done in my life, whether I've had natural food stores, I've had natural foods restaurants, I started miso companies, started seitan companies, started educational companies. Everything has always been as part of what I believe in. So it's much easier that way. If you believe in what you do, it's not work, as you say. It's a passion. It's just every day I wake up every day with a smile, and every day I'm happy to be alive.
Yeah, I love that so much. And the world needs that, right? Because there are so many people out there that are not waking up with a smile every day and happy and grateful for the moment. And the fact that you're doing what you love can really shift how we feel in every day. Would you say that?
Oh, 100%. I'm blessed every day that I have that. I'm blessed because of family and friends. Where I live is a beautiful environment. Everything is everything. Matter of fact, the most important thing, though, is your attitude on life. So it doesn't matter where I am, I always have a good time. I could be up and visiting friends in North Carolina. I could be visiting around the world in Vietnam. I could be in Europe. Is it perfect? Everything is perfect. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm above ground. That's what I tell everybody. Above ground, vertical, and self-propelled. You can't beat that.
That is such a great way of thinking and such a great, and it really shows how much you focus on gratitude rather than on your challenges.
Yeah.
How do you do that? How are you able to every day get up and just focus on your gratitude and not focus on the things that maybe the obstacles that are in your way?
My friends think that I have permanently rose-colored glasses, and they say I always have an attitude. I don't. I don't do negativity, and I don't do stress. So a story I share is that my mother used to tell me all the time, I don't know how you do everything that you do. Everybody's always asking you to do things. Or they want to go into business with you. They want you to help spread different words. And I said to my mother, I think the day they taught stress in school, I must have been absent.
I love that story. That is so great. That is awesome. And I love that you choose, you literally choose every day to put on those rosy colored glasses on and to just have fun. Would you say that's part of it? Like you're choosing fun over stress?
Well, I don't choose it. It's part of me.
It's just who you are
It's
already.
who I
It's
am.
in your being.
It's in my being. I don't choose to say I'm
Yeah.
putting on my glasses today. My glasses
Yeah.
are with me all the time.
Yeah. But you're just like you're just you made a choice at a certain point in your life that you're just going to be happy and you're going to enjoy life and you're going to see things in a positive way. And maybe it was in your subconscious, not something like you logically, think about every day. But that decision or that time when you chose to do that in your life has really shifted your life, in
Well,
a positive way. Which
maybe the day I got out of the womb, I was probably like that. Because I don't
I love
remember ever
that.
making a choice of doing it. This
Wow,
is who
that's
I
great.
am.
So you've always been this way. Like since you were young, you were always happy.
Yes, it's true.
And do you think it came, Sandy, from having a really stable family and a stable home with really great parents that poured so much love into you?
Great parents and three great sisters. We got along great because I hear stories all the time with people with their siblings. They don't get along, and we speak to each other. But we didn't have that. We had a
That
very
is so
nice
beautiful.
environment, so it was really
So
nice.
you were very lucky
Yeah.
in a way because so many people out there, including myself, have experienced more trauma in our lives.
Right.
And so the trauma can sometimes kind of, it takes you time to get there. Like it's not like an automatic, like you're always happy your whole life. But you were able to skip a lot of that because your parents gave you a nice home, a nice life. And so you grew up with so much love and you didn't have a lot of those negativity kind of people in your life that were kind of sucking the energy out of you.
Yeah, no, and I have wonderful friends also. I had wonderful friends. Still to this day, I have my two closest friends. I've been friends for 70 years.
That is beautiful.
So and we speak. One of them I speak to every day. The other one maybe, maybe a couple of times a week or a couple of weeks and everything like that. And we tell the same immature stories that we've always told to each other, and it's fun. We could laugh and I have a lot of friends. I've been very fortunate. I keep friendships for many, many, many years.
I love that so much. That is incredible. And that's such a gift to be surrounded by beautiful people.
Yeah, now you're my new best friend also.
I know.
Noah,
I love
right?
that so much.
Yeah, we welcome and as more friendships we have, the better we are, right?
Yes, 100%, especially with people that you're aligned with, that you kind of very energetically aligned. And that is really special, and I feel very energetically aligned with you and who you are. So I feel honored to be your friend.
No, we're all honored to be in each other's lives. Thank
Yes,
you.
for sure. So you wrote this incredible book, right? Can you tell us about this book called Greens and Grains on the Deep Blue Sea? It's a cooking book.
It's a cookbook,
Yeah.
which everybody says is the hardest book to kind of write because you can't make a mistake. Every detail has to be exact. If you say it has to be a pinch of salt, you have to write a pinch. It can't be a quarter of it changes the whole recipe. So I've been doing these cruises for 21 years. And before that, I did seminars in hotels for about 30 years before that. And people always asked about the recipes. So one year we decided, okay, let's do a cookbook. And the head chef at the time, Mark, Hannah, and myself, we created this book. And it's at that time, which was done a few years back, we created recipes, and thankfully it sold pretty well.
That's wonderful. Is it still on Amazon? People can order?
Yes, they can.
Okay, that's wonderful. And so the cookbook is a vegan cookbook, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Why are you so passionate about being vegan, being plant-based, right?
Yes.
Because it hasn't been popular for most years. I mean, today still, I mean, when I go to places and I say I'm a vegan, I get these weird, reactions from people, right? And it seems like it should be more accepted these days, but people still, are not totally accepting of vegan. Why is there such a misconception about being vegan, being plant-based?
First of all, most people don't know what it is. They don't know what it means. That's the most important thing. And they don't want to give up things. I think they're denying themselves by not eating meat and not eating dairy. What they're denying themselves, if they do it, is not going to the doctor and not getting sick. So it's a matter of, I call it priorities in life. So when people tell me, because I over the years, I've had a nutritional license in Florida. I counsel people, whether for cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and I tell everybody, it's priorities in life. You say, I don't have time, and I look at them, really? You have time to sit in the doctor's office for 2 hours. You have time to do this. You could spend some time in the kitchen. So it's all priorities in life. What's important to you? To me, it's important not to be sick, to be healthy, right? Other people say, well, I'm not willing to give it up, so I'll suffer a little bit. It's their choice. I could still love them anyway, but I don't feel bad for them. I just wish that they would be more educated, what opportunities they have in front of them.
Yeah, and I feel really good on a plant-based diet and being a vegan. Like, I don't feel like anything's missing. I do drink some protein shakes for extra protein because I like to work out. But I feel like we can get all our proteins from beans and tofu and other ways. It doesn't have to be meat.
Yeah, well, I think on a spiritual level, God gave us everything and we want, right? We have a planet where if you believe in any kind of spiritual well-being and a higher up, everything's before us. It's just a matter of how to access it. So maybe sometimes you have to go a little bit out of your way to do it, but everything is there. And for people to say, where do you get the protein? Where do you get this? And it's all there. So you just have to choose. And sometimes you have to be a little bit educated about it, combining foods or certain foods. You can't, too many people that are vegan, I call too many people that are junk food vegans. They're vegans, they don't eat meat and dairy, but they eat sugar and they eat crap all the time. That's not acceptable to me. I feel bad that they haven't learned yet, but they will. So it's not just eating not eating dairy or meat or chicken or fish, but it's also what you should eat and not to eat, sugar, because so many people eat processed foods and sugar and they think it's okay. It's not okay. And you're going to get sick. So if you're a junk food vegan, a junk food of anything, you're going to get sick eventually.
Yeah, you have a good point that it's really important what we put in our body. You are what you eat, right? I love that quote, and I really do believe that, God gives us a body one time. He gives us when we're young, right? He gives us a healthy, most of us get a healthy, strong body, and we abuse it, right? Yeah. And if you're smoking, you're drinking, you're eating, all this bad foods, and you're putting it in your body on a regular basis, it's going to take effect, and you're not going to be able to keep that gift. I always say that God gave you.
Yeah, our body is a temple, and we should treat it as such. We should treat it, we were born healthy, and what we've done, we've just gone the wrong way sometimes. If you just follow a simple way, it's great. I'm very fortunate that I've raised 5 children, so for the first 18 years of their lives, while they were, quote, under my household, they ate very simple and very healthy, because I've been doing this for 55 and a half years now. And once they're on their own, they can choose whatever they want. But at least I gave them a good, strong foundation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so many people, though, out there don't grow up in a kind of home where they learn healthy habits. I mean, because when you go, there's so much junk food out there. There's so much processed foods. And I think it's a whole new learning for them because they grew up not with the right steps to be healthy. So it really takes something to change the way you eat because you're already used to a certain taste and a certain, you know, texture of foods, and you have to completely change something that maybe in the beginning it doesn't taste so good to you.
Yeah, well, see, for my children, it's funny you should put it like that because they were born this way, so they have no comparison. As opposed to other kids, when they start, they say, "Oh, it doesn't taste sweet enough. It doesn't taste this." My kids, they didn't know the difference. And then afterwards, when they they would go to a party and they would have sugar, somebody had a party, and they would come home and they would have a headache, or they say something. We say, "Well, look at it depends what you do." But it's and you can be as creative as you want. The food could taste as good as anything you have. We have desserts on the cruise without dairy and without sugar that are fabulous. I'll put them up against any dessert you've ever had in your life.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, it sounds amazing. I want to talk about your cruises because you've been doing them now for how many years?
21 years.
21 years at sea.
Let's see.
Yeah. So, how often are these cruises, and what's the main goal besides relaxation and vacation? Why are you so passionate about taking these people on these wellness cruises and helping them, do better in their lives every day?
Well, we do a survey every year, and the number one reason people come is education, education, education. Number two is the food. Number three is the camaraderie, being around other people. And number four is the ports. So they don't care where we go. They just want to, because we have the who's who of in the world of holistic living. Truly, over the last 21 years, we've had the most famous people in the world have been on our events, from, whether Deepak Chopra, Dr. Benjamin Spock, Michio Kushi, right now Michael Greger, Neil Bernard, the who's who, and the chefs and stuff, cookbooks, and they're all happy to support what I do because their mission is the same way. They want to turn the world on to do it also. So what the idea of doing it, as I said, I did it in hotels for 30 years beforehand. And I always had the philosophy, no one minds learning in a good environment and having fun. Why not? So we do it on a cruise ship. We go sailing around the Caribbean, not so shabby. You go to different ports. You get served by tuxedo waiters every night. You don't have to do the dishes. 5-course meals. You go to classes if you want. You don't have to go to anything. We have exercise classes in the morning, whether yoga, Pilates, just exercise, workout stuff, meditation, you name it. So, and you want to go, you go. You don't want to go, you don't want to go. So we have classes throughout the day. So education is the most important thing. And people love it. And in the beginning, a lot of people came because they were sick. In the beginning, it was interesting. People came because they were sick and they wanted, hey, what's this cruise all about? Maybe I can get better. And over the years, though, it's happened that, yes, people still come because they're not feeling well, but more importantly is now people, as they age, they want to stay healthy. So even though they might be leading sort of a healthy lifestyle, they want to live to see another day. They want to see their kids. When I see people, I say, don't you want to go to dance at your children's wedding, your grandkids' weddings and stuff like that? So you have to inspire people to want to take care of themselves. That's my job. I'm more of a psychologist in that way than I am anything else, where I try to push the buttons to get people to want to take care of themselves.
I love that. And it gives you a chance to just unplug, right, from the world because there's no distraction. You're in sea and it's really focused to, wellness and health.
Yeah, because in the first, as I said, 30 years we did in hotels, and we did them in Miami Beach, most of them actually, but then we did them in Colorado and San Francisco, all over the country. But people stayed at different hotels, they stayed at homes. On the ship, you no place to go, guys. It's like a captured audience. So a whole different energy when you're with 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 people for the week, and you're supporting each other. You're different, as I mentioned, well, I didn't mention on air, but we have open seating in the dining rooms. So people could sit and meet new people at every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And you share stories, and you share even hookups. We've had marriages, we've had babies that have come out of it. So it's like called the Love Boat as a sidelight also. Why not? If you're into any kind of happy lifestyle, why wouldn't you want to be surrounded by other people who share your lifestyle?
Yeah, I love that, the Love Boat. That's great. I used to love that show when I was young, to watch it. No, that's great. You're building a whole community, a whole movement. So is it repeat customers or Or is it like different people on every cruise? What's the percentage?
Some. I'm always at the very first day we do an introduction in the theater, and the theater is just like going to a Broadway show. It holds like 1,200, 1,500 people, and we always ask who's here for the first time. Raise your hand. Second time, fifth time. I'm always thrilled when it's for the first time. 1,000 new people, that's great. And yes, we always have a couple hundred repeat. Matter of fact, we have about a half a dozen people who've been on all 20 cruises or 21 years. They've come every time.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing that they remind me, I've been here, and other people remind me also that, and they also remind me that, here's the baby that was born that we met, and one year actually somebody even asked me to marry them on the cruise. They were they asked me to conduct the ceremony.
Did you do it?
I did it.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Wow. What percentage of the people that come on the cruise would you say are actually vegan, or are most of them not vegan that want to learn more about being?
Most of them are not strictly vegan. Most of them not, but they may have dabbled in it, or some are very passionate about it, but not. And I'm happy. Whatever comes is okay. And people write me letters all the time, like this 1 week changed my life, or 10 days, whatever we decide to do that year. They thank me letters, and matter of fact, I've obviously 20, 50 years of stories. One year I got a check in the mail from a woman, and she says, in my church we believe in tithing, and what you did is wonderful. And she sent me a check for like hundreds of dollars just to do whatever you want. Couldn't even tell if the lady was sitting next to me who she was.
That is so really special. It means
Yeah.
you really created an incredible change and impact in her life with this.
Yeah, I get that. I won't say I get that a lot, but I get it every cruise, obviously. I shouldn't say obviously, but I'm very blessed that way because I get people tell me stories and they write me emails. Somebody, friend of mine just sent out a reel of me on a bicycle the other day. And a woman wrote to me, says, I met you 5 years ago on your cruise and you changed my life. I don't know the lady, whatever it was, but it's nice to connect that and give people encouragement and hope.
No, it's really makes it so fulfilling for you to make a difference like that, because you're living your passion and purpose and you're touching people in a positive way.
Yeah, I hopefully every day.
You must have so many stories, though. Do you have another story to share? I love your stories.
10,001 story.
Yeah. So what's another good story from a cruise that you had?
Well, besides people meeting each other, marrying each other, so I had this 1 year, this woman came on, because what we do on the cruise, I consider the heart and soul of the cruise, we call it the recovery panel. And people come and they share their stories of how they had stage 4 cancer, and they changed to a vegan diet, a macrobiotic diet, or plant-based diet, whatever words they want to use, and the cancer is gone. And they sit there and we record these sessions. We have sessions. So one woman, she came over to people that are on the cruise and says, I want to meet with this guy, afterwards. And turns out she happened to live in Miami. And it turns out she happened to be a billionairess. And she asked me to please come over my house. I want you to help my friends and teach other people what you're doing. So I sat there, went over her house one afternoon, and I met with her. And I'm leaving. And she said, Sandy, where are you going? I said, I'm going. What's the matter? She said, don't be ridiculous. She says, I've been blessed that I have money, and I like to help other people that are doing what you do. And she gave me a check for, I'm not saying 6 figures, but a lot of money to do what you want, to put forward to, because I've started half a dozen nonprofit foundations.
I want to talk about that's incredible. That's beautiful. So you meet such incredible people.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so generous, hearted.
Yeah, people are appreciative. Which is really nice. And as we say, we help each other. We spread the word on it. I had a natural food store in Coconut Grove, Florida, and one day a woman comes into the store, and she says to me, "Are you Amber's dad?" And I said, "Yes." My daughter was 3 years old at the time. Says, my daughter says that your daughter, my 3-year-old, her 3-year-old daughter, she doesn't have to be sick if she eats the way that she eats. So the woman came in to be friends and see what it was all about. She searched me out on it. And we became friends. And you never know where it's going to happen. And it turns out her husband was the general manager of one of the most popular radio stations in South Florida. So I do these events called Taste of Health, which is a nonprofit that I started. And, you know, you have Taste of Chicago, Taste of New York, and they do all these food things with meat and sugar and liquor and whatever it is on it. So I did this event called Taste of Health, and we did it in the park in Coconut Grove. And the first year, we had 5,000 people that came. And this radio station that this woman's husband, Dean, thank you very much, he supported us and did it. And then Miami Herald supported us. And so you don't know. You don't know where it's going to be. You just have to live your life. You be true to yourself is the most important thing. I always tell everybody, the most important person I have to answer to is myself. You know, people tell me, what about that over there? I can't worry about everybody else over there.
Right.
I take care of me, and if it helps that people can get happy and tag along, that's great. If not, I still love everybody anyway.
Yeah, I love that. And if every person just worked on themselves, I always say what a beautiful world it would be. Like, we don't need to fix anybody else. If we can just fix ourselves and do better every day ourselves and be responsible for how we show up in the world, it changes the whole picture of the world.
Well, I've taken it maybe selfishly a little step further because I know I can take care of myself. I've been on a, some people think I'm an evangelical as far as going around turning everybody else on. So it's not just helping myself, then you help your family and your friends, you help your community, you help your city, your state, and you try to help it to the world. Because one of the things that really my philosophy about it is everybody has to drink water, everybody has to breathe. And then the common denominator, lowest common denominator after that is everybody has to eat. So why not eat simple? Why not eat? Doesn't matter how educated you are, how rich you are. It doesn't matter. You don't get a pass if you don't eat well. You're going to get sick. So I'm sorry to say that. I mean, I don't mean sick. You don't have to, I don't mean you have to be, you know, it's not a death kind of thing, but you have aches and pains. You get headaches. Women have different discharges. Men have different problems, whatever it is. Why accept that? So I don't want to accept any of that. And I don't want anybody around me to accept it. If you do accept it, that's your thing, but try to then make a positive thing out of it, where you change. Everything is the only one thing in the world that is a constant is everything changes.
Yeah, for sure. But what I was trying to say is, like, the only person I can ever control is myself.
Of course.
So I'm not going to try, if I can control who I am in the world and be a good person and do kind things, then I'm creating positive impact.
100%.
You know? So that's really important to me. It's just how I show up every day, not to fix somebody else or try to change somebody else, right? Because and not everybody's supposed to be in your life. Not everybody's going to be your friend. Not everybody's going to like you, but it's okay. You know, as long as we're doing good and we're spreading.
Well, you become a role model also, though. If you do good, then people want to be around you. You know, they say,
absolutely.
I want to be
the right people.
Well, any people.
Yeah.
I used to kid around with people. I had have these businesses over the years, and people say, well, I met the owner, and he was so wonderful and this and that. I said, really, which one was he? Because I had a lot of employees, and I was the owner, but everybody else took it upon themselves that they did it, that they felt they were the owner. And people then, I call it a contact high. You want people around you that they think that if you're positive and you're happy and you're smiling, you're healthy, people say, hey, how come that guy's smiling? How come he's happy? How come he's healthy? Maybe I should look into that. So that's when we say, yes, we only take care of ourselves, but at the same time, you and I have chosen to be out there. You're right now on the air, choosing to be out there as a model, whether
Always.
good, bad, or indifferent. We're out there preaching what we believe is helpful to other people.
Yeah, 100%. And bringing people together. We both bring communities together because I really believe we all need each other.
Yeah.
And, you know, together we are one, WON, that I always say, and you say the same thing, is that we need each other.
Yeah.
Nobody can become successful on their own, right?
Yeah.
We all need.
We're not in a vacuum. We don't live in a vacuum, right?
And so, so I think it's just, it's really cool because there's so many beautiful people in the world. There really are. You know, as much as there's dark too, there's also a lot of light. So, you know, what I think you do and I do as well is we focus more on the light and more on the positive, because if you focus too much on the negativity, then you can't really do what your soul is meant to do in this world.
Yeah. Well, every human being is a beautiful person. They just might not know it yet, or they might not come out with seeing that side of it. But we were born as wonderful people. And it's just a matter of what happens. Education, as I put, whether it's on the cruise or in your life, your parents, the environment that you surround yourself with is the education. As I raise my kids, I try to teach them right from wrong. People used to say to me, what kind of religion, what kind of this and that. My most important thing is to teach my children to be good human beings. Mm-hmm. That's the most important thing, to be nice people, to be compassionate. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, my biggest fault sometimes, and I own up to it, is having empathy for other people, because I like to live in a perfect world. I think I like to live where everybody's wonderful. And sometimes there are people that aren't, that have issues going on, whether personal, physical issues or psychological issues. And I have to, sometimes I need to get hit in the head every so often to relate to that. Wake up, Sandy. It's not just everything is, even I think it's rose-colored, and their world is not. So I have to help, and I support them as much as I can.
Yeah, honestly, you just go to YouTube and you see that not everybody's great, you know?
Yeah.
I go on YouTube, so you have to avoid these things, because otherwise you want to fill yourself with positivity. You have to stay away from the negativity.
Yeah.
But we know that both exists in the world. But I love that you choose to focus in seeing everything from a beautiful lens, because there is so much beauty to admire, and there is so much beauty to love. And yeah, maybe we live a little bit over here, a little,
Yeah.
you know, but you know, it feels good to be there. You know, it feels to be, and also we live in our hearts, right?
Yeah.
I would say that a lot of the way I see life is from a heart place, you know, from compassion, from love. You know, I choose to see people in that kind of way. I choose to spread that in the world on a daily basis, because it feels good to lift others.
Yeah. I also am very passionate about trusting people. Mm-hmm. So I like to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. And I more than that, I trust them like wholeheartedly. And even when I've had businesses, I had a store, as I said, in Coconut Grove, and people they would charge stuff, you know, if they didn't have money. I'd say, it's okay, you'll come give me the money. And I always have stories about business and that also. I could tell you that stories that one day the manager of the store, after the weekend, went to the bank to deposit the weekend receipts. And he comes back and he says that, Sandy, I lost the bank bag. And a couple hours later, somebody called up and they said they found this bag with all these thousands of dollars in it, whatever it is on it, and they gave it back. Or somebody would write a check to the store, and they would go home and said, Sandy, when I got home, I realized the check is still in my checkbook, so I owe you the money. So just stories, I mean, bountiful stories like that. And it's just, do you attract things? 100%. We all attract things in our lives. And as I said, good, bad, and indifferent. But always, even if it's bad, there's always, remember I said, everything changes. You change the bad to the good. Or we have the ability to do that.
I love that. And, you know, sometimes we have to realize that it's just a moment in time.
Yeah.
You know, and is it going to really matter to you 5 years from now or 10 years from now? You know, we turn to hyper focus on negative things, and then we forget that we have so many blessings, you know, in our lives. And so, and I love what you said, because I have one of the women from the Holistic Chamber that comes. She recently started reading a lot of things about neuroscience and law of attraction and all that. And she says to me, like, oh my God, my life is changing. I'm thinking positive, and positive things are happening to me. And it changed my life. And she's always texting me like how she can't believe all these great things happening to her all the time, because she started seeing her world in a different way. So it's amazing how we do attract and create everything in our lives.
Yeah, that's what we want to do every day, to try to do that. And I'm blessed to be with you here now, and you're blessed your audience is blessed to have the opportunity to listen, and you have the opportunity to be on the air. It doesn't happen by magic.
Right.
So, you know, we attract things in the world that here you are, you know, and I go to different places. I go to different interviews or magazines, and the Miami Herald used to call me up all the time when they had stories they want to verify anything to do with in the world of natural living or anything like that. I never even met, there's one woman who was the key person who had her own column there. She used to call me all the time. I never met her for 20 years. And she used to call me up just to see, okay, what's new in the world and this and that kind of stuff. And she would write different things in the columns, like I was her source of things, and we used to kid around about it. So it was great. Unfortunately for my kids, they get embarrassed sometimes because sometimes when we go places, you know, and I'm not, people come over. Just the other day, I was with somebody, and they say, "Oh, I've met you so many times." I don't remember all that. I wish everybody on the cruise, I'm thrilled to death, everybody has a name tag, because I don't remember thousands. And we've had tens and tens of thousands of people over the years. So I have a good memory, but not that great that I remember everybody's name.
Yeah, listen, it can't be perfect, right, all the time.
Yeah.
But it's good. At least you make the effort, and that's all that matters. How about as far as being a macrobiotic? Can you talk a little bit about that and why you love that way of eating?
Yeah. Well, macrobiotics, macro means great, and bios means life. So the philosophy is living a great life. And as I mentioned earlier, it's a matter of balance. The key to macrobiotics is balance. There's nothing that's perfect, and there's nothing that's great for you, and nothing that's terrible for you. You want to try to, I call it a seesaw effect. You want to try to be in the middle where it's balanced all the time. So it's not the idea that one day you wake up and I feel great and the next day I feel lousy. Why not feel great all the time? So each day we try to elevate ourselves more and more every day to try to lift ourselves up. So as I said, through diet, through food, through whole grains as the center of the universe as far as food, and then vegetables and beans and sea vegetables and nuts and seeds and salads. Just eating very, very simple. And macrobiotics more than just a diet. It's a way of life. It's a matter of the environment. You want the environment to be healthy. You want everybody to succeed. You want the climate to be great. You want everything should be happy. So that's what macrobiotics is all about. And whether it's, an exercise, sometimes in the world, even a vegan and stuff like that, I myself, a perfect example of that. It was always focused on the food. But then I started becoming an exercise person. And I say 1 + 1 doesn't necessarily 2. 1 + 1 equals maybe 3, 5. And then you add some spiritual practice if you want. It's nirvana, or it's infinity, whatever you want. There is no top of what you can do. So in macrobiotics, that's the goal, is to try to live, just always, always try to live a balanced, better life, not to be sick. Too many people accept sickness as a way of life. It's not. Don't be silly that people, as I said, I used to counsel people, and they say, well, all my neighbors have cancer. Why would you accept that? Why would you accept having cancer as a way of life? That's ridiculous.
Why would you speak into that even? Because what we speak into, we create. Like,
Right.
I have people that say, "Oh, we're getting old," and I'm like, "Cancel." Like,
Yeah.
we're not old. Okay.
Don't
I don't want to think that way. Like, it's just not. No, I'm vibrant. I'm healthy. I'm strong. I'm getting stronger. If my knee's hurting me, I'll be like, "Oh, my knees are getting stronger." Like, there's something about like how you think that and what you create in the world.
Yeah, why give power to cancer? Why give power to the negativity?
Yeah.
So I choose not to do that, and I try to tell other people. And when I speak to people, I would say not all the time. A lot of times, I care more about their health and their living than they do. So I have to nudge them a little bit, or just say, "Hello, it's your life. Don't you want to live?" And as I said, don't you want to see your grandchildren at their wedding? Don't you want to see all these wonderful things in the world? You have everything ahead of you. Stop selling yourself short. You could create, you can have it all. We just have to want to embrace it. We have to want to go out there and want to live it and be part of our lives. So that's what macrobiotics is, to do that.
To take charge of your life.
Take
right?
charge of your life.
Not to leave it up to somebody else.
Right.
And that's the power we all have.
Yeah.
There's no reason somebody else should be in charge. And how often, I'm sure you see it too, older people that are just have given up, like you said, they're just existing. They're not thriving. They're not, and there's no limits in life besides the limits we put on ourselves.
Yeah, we're the master of our own destiny. So we have to decide that I want to do that. I want to grab that, and I want to run with that. And I choose to do that, and I want to turn as many people on as possible to accept that same philosophy. That's all simple, right?
Absolutely. So you just celebrated a big birthday as well, right?
I certainly did. Every day, actually, every day of my life is a happy day, right?
I love that.
Yeah, it's true. People, so I had a business, and It's funny. We were open 365 days a year. And people say, don't you? I says, every day's a holiday. Why do people just nice one day? They go, Merry Christmas one day a year. Why not you go over somebody every day? Why don't you go over people, whether it's a Jewish holiday, Catholic holiday, whatever religion you are, Muslim, whatever you are. Every day should be a holiday. Every day should be embraced as a holiday. So I celebrate every day as a holiday. Yes, but I did have a real birthday, and everybody else got excited by it, and I was very fortunate. I celebrated my birth. I was 80 years old, about a month ago maybe, and I had a birthday in August with 31 people, a family that we celebrated together. Then I went to Alaska, had a birthday in Alaska. Then I went to Europe because I was doing the seminars in Europe, and I had a birthday in Europe. So I've had celebrating 3 birthdays. I mean, with cakes and with people and everything like that, and it was great. And
Alaska was one of your cruises.
One of my cruises was
Can we
Alaska.
talk about what was that like?
First time we ever did it. We've been doing the Caribbean, and we expanded to Alaska, and it was incredible. People loved it. I've been to Alaska before, and I even took my kids when they were younger. We rented a motorhome one summer, and we toured around Alaska. And it was great, but people loved it because the scenery is unbelievable, right? Here we are in South Florida. You can't get much different than Alaska to South Florida, right? So the scenery was beautiful. The icebergs and the animals and stuff, the whales and stuff. How do you like that? It's pretty awesome.
Would you do a holistic cruise again to
Alaska? Yeah, next summer.
Yeah.
Well, the game plan is to do the winter in the Caribbean, the summer in Alaska.
Ooh, I love that.
To start, and then maybe eventually somebody will take it on and go, let's do all over the world. The fall in Northern Europe or Southern California or someplace in Mexico or something. Yeah. The idea is to education, to have fun. No one minds, as I said, having fun and have education at the same time.
So what are the most important tools that you want people to walk away from your cruises? What's the most important thing to you that you're like, I want people to walk away with these tools when they leave the cruise?
You have the ability to take care of yourself and be healthy. That's number one. Don't put it on somebody else. As I said, you're a master. I got to get a little water here.
Yeah, get some water.
Thank you very much. For the water break.
So the main goal is definitely to learn to take care of yourself. And I love that. And what else?
And to live it passionately, not just take care of yourself, but do it with passion. And if you have a partner, we have most of the cruises like I call it, women are much more evolved than men. So we get more women than men on the cruise. And a lot of them come mothers and daughters and sisters and friends and stuff. Yes, we have guys also, but women are much more evolved, I call it always. And what I want to get away from is you have the ability to be healthy and to see that it's possible to turn them on to not just the food, but the teachers, the exercises, the whole connection of the well-being, because too many people think they're by themselves. They're out in left field, they're out in the desert by themselves. And by us getting together like this, they say, wow, there's other people that live like that. And so I'm not so alone. And we get calls afterwards. We're like a resource. Like, okay, I'm in Montana. Is there somebody, a doctor I can call? I have this condition, that. So we serve as a resource center also.
Yeah, that's great, because community is so important to healing, just in general, to healing ourselves, healing our body, healing our mind. So you have that supportive. So people learn to cook.
Right.
And do they get like instruction pamphlets, like how to make stuff that they've learned, or do they just get the cookbook? How does that work?
I just happen to bring along some programs.
Okay,
I could show you, but these Alaska, the Caribbean. And what it is every class is described, and the cooking classes, the recipes are in there also. Nice. So even if you don't go, because we have multiple things going on at the same time. So if you're not in that cooking class, you can go to here and you see what recipes they taught in the cooking classes.
Oh, it's so well organized.
We try to be a little bit organized.
Yeah. So how many people usually come on this cruise?
1,500.
1,500 people.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So you completely take over the ship?
No, we don't actually.
No?
We just have
Wow.
a part of the ship. We used to have 2,000, and the ship said we have too many people. We influence too many people because we don't do a lot of alcohol drinking, and they lose revenue, so they don't like me, and we don't do a lot of gambling because we have classes all the time. So I'm always looking for a cruise line that wants to accept us and do us, and as I said, whether a hotel or a cruise line, to take our show on the road, whether it's at sea or by land, and that's what we do. We try to, and we tape all the classes also, so people can, if they miss something, you buy a tape and you go home with the lecture that you missed or something like that. And it's so we're out there to try to be helpful, to help people in their quest. We're all on a journey, right? We're all on a journey to be healthy and happy individuals, and we're one little step along the way. And I consider it one of the best kept secrets around because no one knows about the cruise.
Yeah, I didn't know about it until.
No one knows about
Yeah.
it. And over the years, I said we've had 2,000 people at a time. We've did these programs in Palm Springs, California, San Francisco, and mountains of Colorado and Breckenridge, and still people don't know about it. So maybe eventually people will say, hey, I heard about that thing somewhere.
Do you ever think you'll do a cruise to Europe? Or is
Yeah. We're planning on it. We've tried to do it, but the cruise lines, they think it's going to be difficult because of the supplies. I'm open to doing it. We have to have a cruise line that's open to hosting us.
Yeah, that would be really fun too.
Yeah, I want to be everywhere.
Yeah, I love that so much. So let's talk about your upcoming cruise. Your upcoming cruise is when? It's in March, right?
March 1st to March 8th, and it's Caribbean, and and some people, we go to different ports, and some people like going to get off the ship. In the first couple of years we had it, we had classes all the time, whether we were in port or not. People said to me, Sandy, we're on vacation. We don't want to have to go to classes all the time. And I used to say, well, you don't have to go, but then they feel they're missing out on something. So now when we're in port, for the most of the day, we don't have classes. So people can get off and go to whether the Panama Canal or to Colombia, Costa Rica, Mexico, wherever it happened to be, to see the ruins in Costa Maya, which we're going to go this year. So, yeah, it's an incredible experience, and as I said, you choose to go to classes, not go to classes. No one forces you. No attendance is necessary, and you want to go just to be around other people. Because in the beginning, we had women would call up and say, I want to go, but my husband's not into it. Is that okay? And we said, yes, because maybe the first day he'll have potatoes, and maybe the next day he'll have brown rice, or, so maybe he'll get a contact. As I said, he'll learn and see other people and I want to bring that up as a very important thing. My first couple of years when I did it, my sisters, my family, they always thought, it's macrobiotic or vegan or vegetarian cruise, and they expected a bunch of people with sandals and tie-dye shirts and hippies and stuff like that. And when my sisters came on the cruise, I have two older sisters, I had three sisters came on the cruise, and they said, it's like regular people. It was like regular people that they could relate to.
Not granola people.
It wasn't granola head. Yes, of course, we have our granola head people also. But we also have regular people that come from all walks of life. So it's a whole different thing because people, as I say, want to be healthy and happy. And we're providing that venue to do that. And in March 1st, if you want to come, that's what you'll get to see. And you'll get to have great food and great classes and great camaraderie. So it's a win-win situation. You just have to show up, and we take care of the rest for you. Truly speaking, we take care of all the bells and whistles of everything.
Is there any dancing on the cruise?
Of course, we have parties every night. I wouldn't say every night. Now we have, maybe because we have shows, we have parties. We have a pizza party one night, a sushi party one night, ice cream party one night, cookie, whatever. We have parties. So dancing, of course, we have dancing. Yeah, people. It's a fun thing to do, and what's happened though is that over the years, the parties we try to not have them so late because people would say, if I go late to the parties, I'm dancing. I can't get up to yoga classes or the exercise classes at 7 o'clock in the morning, and if I'm out partying all night, it's hard to get up. So we still have the parties, but maybe we end them at 10 o'clock as opposed to 11 o'clock. Yeah.
They got to accommodate everybody.
Yeah.
So what are some of the ports we're going to be stopping at in March?
Where are we going?
Where are we going?
Where are we going?
Where are we going?
We're going to Costa Maya. which is the ruins is most people love to go to the ruins.
Mm-hmm.
They love to go snorkeling. They go zip lining. There's fun. I mean, even people get off. We're going to Honduras.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the name. Shame on me. The name of the place we were going, but we're going
That's
to
okay.
Honduras. Then we're going to Cozumel. So we try to make it. We try to switch, but in 21 years we're running out of islands to go to in the Caribbean. So we're repeating. And when we started doing 10-day and 11-day cruises, people liked it even as much because then we went to more further away places that you couldn't go to in 7 days. So it's great. It's great. You'll have a good time, and
You'll have the best time.
you have the best time. If you're open to having a great time, you'll have a great time. It's up to you to allow yourself
Take the
to
action.
take it in. Allow yourself to breathe the happiness, to breathe the food, indulge yourself, and say to yourself, I deserve this. I'm allowed to be happy. I'm allowed to be healthy. Give yourself a pat on the back and say to yourself, I did good by coming on this cruise.
It's like a gift to yourself.
A gift to yourself.
I love that. So as far as something came into my mind and it's kind of like, as far as isn't there like an early sign in, like you get
You
some
save
money off
yeah,
if you
sign
early?
up now.
Yeah, by till
Yeah.
November 21st or something.
Yeah, you save, I don't know, a couple
$200.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just tell them you heard me on the air, and but it's on the website. The website is holisticholidaysea.com. I guess I'm supposed to say that, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if you look on that, it'll give you all the information. It'll tell you the teachers. The classes aren't listed yet. In about another month, we'll have all the classes. And people, as I said, they do shore excursions. So it's not just the being on board the ship. They go off and they do stuff. You know, you go have fun. You go explore other places. You know, as I said, when we went to the Panama, people they did that. You don't go through all the way to the other side, but you go see the locks. It's pretty amazing. So you allow yourself to explore and to see. As Noah just said, give yourself the gift. You give yourself your own gift, because who else? You're the best person, right? So allow yourself this privilege, this gift to yourself.
Yeah, and look how healthy you are at 80. So don't people want to age like that, you
I
know?
don't know what people want to
So,
do. Who knows?
yeah.
Hopefully I age much better than I do.
Yeah. And no, they'll be inspired because,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, as far as men, if they don't take care of themselves, you know, a lot of them don't stay as healthy. And I'm sure you feel incredible inside it, not just outside, right?
Yeah. Men, you're going to have everything working very well for yourself. You got to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because the men that were, you know, we used to have we used to have speed dating to try to encourage, you know, hookups and whatnot. I don't mean hookups in the negative way, but just to meet other people.
Sure.
And it's been great. So, and it's worked out. And I have, like somebody just called me, people have met there, as I said, the wives. I went in Europe just recently and I met this couple. They got married. They met on the cruise. They got married. They live in Denmark.
How cool is that?
Yeah. You never know. You never know where your partner. Matter of fact, I happen to be in a relationship right now with somebody. I've never met anybody on a cruise. I met somebody on a cruise a couple of years ago.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
So I'm
so
in a
cool.
wonderful, wonderful relationship right now.
Yeah, that makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
You know, choose who that we get to spend our lives with. You know?
Yeah. It's true.
It's never too late.
Never
You
too
can
late.
meet the right person at any age, you know?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it's great. And as I said, the kids, and I have this couple, I've seen kids that have come there since they're 4 or 5 years old, now they're in their early 20s. They've been on like 15 cruises, and I watched them grow up and everything like that. It's pretty wonderful.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly they grow up and how
Yeah.
quickly life goes by. Like you really don't realize that, you know. But when I think back, I'm like, I literally remember myself like 20-year-old on the beach in a bikini. Like, how did I get to this age? Like you can't believe it. Like life really does fly, and we have to just capture and enjoy every moment, you know, and be in a positive place where we can receive all the abundance gift that the world has to give us, because we're all abundant. We just have to be able to be open to receiving. And it's a whole different way of thinking and seeing life, where we actually attract everything into us, all the positive things.
I use an expression all the time, to chew well the food, because it's very important to chew well for nutrition purposes, but you should chew well in life, everything you come across in life. You should chew well, everybody out there, to chew well and embrace everything you come across and take everything in with passion.
I love that. So our time's gone by so fast. I want to ask you one more thing. How do you heal what's your advice for people watching to just live their best life and heal themselves so they can heal the world?
Yeah. Simple food is the best thing to do, right? It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a gourmet cook. Start out slowly. And you know what? Sometimes we go backwards and we go sideways on the way. There's no perfect answer. We all want to go to nirvana. And sometimes it takes an extra day or two or a week or a month in your life. It's okay. Start out very simple. We make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. So start out very simple, grains and vegetables and beans and seaweeds and nuts and fruits and salads. Simple. Most important thing is eliminate meat, animal products, and eliminate dairy food. The single worst food, and sugar, sugar is number one, meat, and dairy foods. Those three are the biggest problems for health of humanity, not just United States, but all of the world has to eliminate those three things in order to heal the world.
I love that you're saying that because I love when people stand up for what they believe in, you know? And I also love that you said about mistakes are not a big deal because I always say you can fall off the horse. You're going to fall off the horse.
Yeah.
Okay, we all do. But it's how soon you can get back on the
Yeah.
horse. It's not about falling off. It's about getting, because we're human. We're human beings. We're
right.
going to have human errors. There's nobody perfect. There's nothing perfect. There's just what is, and where can you go from here? You know, not to beat yourself up for the past or things that happened before.
Yeah, and people think it's just physical illnesses, but it's more than physical illnesses. We all know we have psychological illnesses too. People just focus on physical stuff, and they think, "Oh, I'm not eating well, or I have cancer." But what about mental stuff? Look what's going on in the world with mental dysfunctions and stuff like that. I believe you can heal everything. I consider myself the world's eternal optimist. So anybody wants to come along for the ride or follow with me, and I'm happy to have you along as a friend. But I think everything can be changed and everything can be cured. I don't care if it's stage 4 cancer. I don't care if it's some kind of mental things. With patience, with love, and with prayer, and with a positive attitude, I think you can change everything.
I love that so much. Okay, so when is the cruise again? Coming up, go ahead and look into the
Hi,
camera.
look into the camera, everybody.
Yeah,
Hi.
tell them when the cruise is
March
and where
1st,
they...
March
yeah.
1st to 8th. You can go online at Holistic Holiday at Sea. Holistic Holiday at Sea is pretty easy. And there's a phone number, I hope I remember it, 305-928-1098, 305-928-1098. But best look for Vegan Cruise. Vegan Cruise, we're all over, hopefully over the internet, but Holistic Holiday at Sea, and I hope to see you on board. And if you have any questions, don't be shy. You can reach out to me. I answer phone calls, I say hello to people, and I get back to people.
I love that. Thank you so much, Sandy. This has been a great conversation, and I can't wait to go on one of your cruises.
I
Sounds
look
like
forward
it's going
to
to
it.
be the most incredible time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so thank you
appreciate it
for the
very
work
much.
you're doing. It's life-changing, and definitely helping people live healthier and happier lives is what it's all about.
That's what it is. We're all in this together, right?
Yeah.
We're all in this world together. Let's make it
Yes.
a good place to live, right?
Love that so much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I want to thank you today for joining me on the World Healing Tour podcast. Until next time, remember to practice these 3 important elements that I always talk about after every podcast. Number 1, remember every day to have a grateful heart and connect to your gratitude. When you're connected to your gratitude, you're connected to positive feelings and positive emotions, and therefore drawing more positive people, things, and experiences into your life. Element number 2, remember every day to ground in love and compassion. First, love and compassion for yourself, because we all need more love and compassion. And then learn to share that love and compassion with others. Anything that you put out, any love and compassion that you put out, will come back to you tenfold. So keep throwing out that love and compassion to others. And element number 3, remember, this is a guided journey. You're not alone. I always say it's guided by God. So whether it's God to you, universe, higher power, just know that you're not alone. When you learn to listen and tune off the noise of the world and the noise of others, you truly get to tune into your own compass and be able to listen to the guidance of the world, the guidance of God that He has to give you. So always just be open to listen and change directions. Until next time, my friends, have a beautiful week. Namaste. the World Healing Tour movement with your host, Noah Crane. Heal yourself, heal the world.